I think it is time for NXT to take over.
Suplex City, bitch.
What's your favorite match?
My favorite match was with Melina and Alicia Fox.
Who?
I told my father I'm gonna set up my own lucha league in America, and I'm gonna make it the best league in the world.
I'm gonna leave him in a pile of blood and urine and vomit.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Let's Talk Wrestling podcast. The wrestling podcast where we review Monday Night Raw and then we talk to you about all things that go bump in the night. That's right, it is the Halloween edition. Can you do a good laugh there? Can you give us a good laugh? Not before I mean... Not... Oh. I think you just beat me there. I think you just beat me. I think that's the case. I think that's pretty badass. I've got to introduce you, Matt. I've got to let my feelings for Halloween get the better of me here. That's what I have to do. So what I will say here is that I do this show with a man who, when he hears the words, "Do you want to play a game?" he's totally up for it. It's Matt Marsander.
It's wrestling, isn't it?
Monday Night Raw. Would you like to?
Yeah. Would you like to play a game? Yeah.
Yeah, sure, let's do it. Yeah.
Pop! Way!
Yeah. How has your Halloween been, Matt?
It's fine. I've been eating all the sweets that none of the kids have come to collect.
Well, that's pretty damn good, I have to say. Now, here's the key, though, Matt. This is the thing that you've been missing out on. You need to have kids, send them off to do trick-or-treating, and then they won't miss a couple of little packets missing here and there after they're done. That's the way it is.
But you're stealing from your child.
Well,
Like, not to sort of like tarnish your plan, whilst a very fine plan. I don't feel any guilt from stealing it from children who I do not know, therefore do not care.
oh well, that is quite a way of looking at it. I do actually have leftovers that we didn't end up giving the kids as well, so I have them as well. So I'm set. I'm good. That's the way it is. I hope you guys had a great Halloween, Matt. Before I start this, because we're going around for Halloween, everyone knows we like to procrastinate. What is your favourite Halloween movie? Oh yes.
See no evil.
God. No.
I don't know. I don't really have a Halloween film.
You don't? Not really?
I'm not so much of the horror film sort.
Well,
I like Hostel.
I'm partial to a little bit of slasher because I don't like movies that fuck with my head. You know, like Paranormal Activity. Watching that fucked around in my head, like I couldn't sleep. Right, so that was a bit weird. Probably shouldn't have watched that alone and with the lights off. That probably wasn't the best idea, but still, horror movie. You got to go all in. But you know, you got the Friday the 13th, your Freddy's, your slasher movies. They don't make slasher movies anymore, really, do they? So. But you and me as kids.
It's a bit slacking at the moment.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, we've got the Halloween remakes.
Yeah. Got some good stuff. You guys obviously leave your comments of what Halloween movies you've been watching. Obviously, because I have kids, one of the Halloween movies that I've obviously been watching is like Hotel Transylvania and stuff. All these family-friendly Halloween stuff, but that's good as well.
They need to be watching Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus. That is a classic. I will give you that. Or Beetlejuice. Yeah. We're giving you guys homework here. This is Halloween homework. And I do apologise if you hear fireworks going off in the back of my house. The back of my house overlooks the city of Cork, so I can pretty much hear every single firework that goes off in the city. So if you hear it, I apologise, can't get around it. Matt, if they want to let us know what is their Halloween guilty pleasures, then what is the Twitter handle that they could tweet you at?
Be at Talk Wrestle Pod for all those guilty pleasures.
For those guiltiest of guilty pleasures, shall we say. And one other thing, Matt. Do you know what episode it is? It is episode 99.
Oh,
99.
Close.
So that means that the intro competition is closed. It's done. Can't do it anymore. Sorry, guys. It's closed. We'll review what we've got, and then obviously we'll send off the winners there in regards to that. But yeah, obviously all this is for is building up towards getting us our shirts. I'll be putting the order in for that this Tuesday, and then obviously we'll have the shirts ready to go. We're going to be wearing them at NXT London, so that's going to be fun, and we're looking forward to it. It's going to be the first physical thing we can touch that has our logo on it. That's going to be kind of weird, so all that. But Matt, it is time to tell people what they can expect from episode 100 when it comes out next week. A week from today. People that have obviously been around the show for a long time know that there will be a lot of changes that happen. Graphics, intros. You can expect all that. And let's say, Matt, a little bit more, shall we say? Just a little teeny bit extra.
A bit of extras.
Going to make it a little bit fun. And there's going to be a few things that we've had on the channel and like the YouTube page that's been there since we started. All I can say is nothing stays the same forever, right? Maybe that's the same. Maybe next week, Matt just decides that doesn't need me anymore. He goes off solo, takes off LTW on his own. Yeah. Which won't happen, of course, because it's me. We can't do it without each other.
Have a name.
We can't do it without each other. It's the way it is. So. What we got on this show, because it's all good, well and good. Looking forward to all the big announcements, all the extras that we're going to put into next week's Let's Talk Wrestling 100 episode. Spectacular, awesome, fantastic. But we've got episode 99, and it's well worth sticking around for us on this episode. Because damn it, Matt, we've got a few interesting things to talk about this week. And that does include the fact we've got some wrestling news to talk about. We've got some fan feedback, lots of questions from you guys. We plan on answering every single one of them. Oh, yes. Because that's what we do here on this show. Answer a damn lot of fan questions because we enjoy doing it. Also got NXT report card complete with Matt, what Matt has asked for, extras on the NXT report card. So we're going to be talking even further in depth about NXT this week. And of course, we've got Raw. We've got Raw this week. And dare I say it, a Raw that I may even give a positive review to. Now that is scary.
Staggering stuff.
That's proper Halloween right there. Okay, so we'll get into all of that there. Big episode. Without further ado, Matt, we do love our procrastination, but it has to end. The talking of the wrestling shall commence. Matt, you must have heard the news about this. Kurt Angle has signed a deal with Bellator. Now, it hasn't quite stated yet, before everyone gets a little bit too excited here, that he's actually going to be fighting. There's no fight that's been announced. Apparently he's just going to be there. He's going to be making appearances, signings, this sort of stuff, right? But, Matt, the reason why people are maybe going a little bit ahead of themselves, and I actually think that at this point they actually have a little bit of reason to do so, right? Because we know Kurt Angle. We know what kind of man he is. It's not for bad. I'm not saying that this is a bad thing of his, but part of me knows that eventually he won't be able to help himself, and he will go for a fight.
Oh yeah,
right.
That's true. Like he'll probably just get goaded into it. It's like, oh, I really shouldn't. It's like, oh, I really think you should. Yeah, maybe I should.
I mean, the guys that are running Bellator obviously don't really care the fact that Angle is a walking tragedy waiting to happen with the injuries that this man has sustained. It's and it's no bad to Angle. He's wrestled a very long time. His body is how you would expect a body of someone his age and the mileage that he has, right? It's nothing bad. And you can say, well, other people went into MMA after wrestling. The only person that really made it, and CM Punk aside, we'll see how he gets along. The only person
we can't say he's made it.
Yeah, but we can't put him in the equation anyway. The only person that made it in MMA was a guy who didn't spend that long wrestling at all. Really, that was Brock Lesnar. He didn't have a long career in wrestling, not to the point that Kurt Angle's had. And the rules apply differently to a man like Brock Lesnar than it does to a man like Kurt Angle, right? Brock is he's just something different, right? He's just
something else.
Yeah, right. The rules don't apply to a man like that. So if he is to get into a fight, he gets a fight set up and he's planning to go into MMA, all I can say is I hope to hell that doesn't happen, because it like I said, it seems like it could be a tragedy waiting to happen here, where he gets permanently injured. I mean, it's MMA. I think a lot of MMA fighters say, look, one of the things that sucks about MMA as much as we love it, is getting punched in the face. That's like the worst thing, right? You know, you're gonna get fucking destroyed. It's part of the program, and it makes you worried. What did you think when this news came out? Did you think of it the same I did, where it's like,
well, the thing is, the first that I knew of this, I saw the poster, and I couldn't help but laugh.
yeah, I haven't seen the poster. What's the poster about?
I say it's just a picture of who have we got on there.
Was that Kimbo Slice or something?
Kimbo Slice. Shamrock's on it.
Shamrock, Tito Ortiz. I think he's signed to them as well.
Yeah. So I just sort of shows a couple of them, and they're just like Angle, just like in amongst them, like arms crossed, just like yes. It's like,
yeah. Like something you do want to spot the odd one out here, right? You know, but
yeah, one of these things is not like the other.
Yeah, and it's not a point like people might say, oh, so you don't think he'll do good in MMA? I think Kurt Angle would have been fantastic in MMA about 10, 15 years ago, before
if MMA was still around and he didn't go to wrestling.
Yeah, like, I mean, his body has had so much mileage on it, you know, and you know the injuries that he sustained in TNA are quite a good indicator of that, right? He's a bit injury prone on that sense nowadays, as you would expect someone of his age and mileage to be. It's nothing bad. But yeah, Angle would have been terrific, you know, because he's an Olympic gold medalist, you know. I know it's his whole gimmick, but he was at one point one of the best amateur wrestlers in the world, right? So that does work into a lot of MMA. He'd probably be a very good ground worker, but this is regardless. He shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
And he's saying that he got deals from TNA, decided not to go there. I mean, a lot of people are jumping ship from TNA. He's hardly the first, shall we say, but yeah, it's I'm expecting the news to come out, Angle excited about actually having a fight on Bellator, and suddenly everyone just shakes their head and we're like, no, not quite.
Why?
Bellator has got not a bad reputation. It's got well, it does really. It's got a reputation of just being second rate and dodgy some of the times. I mean, you hear a lot of the talks about Bellator being along the lines of that everything's not entirely as legit as, let's say, UFC, and they have people calling them out and saying they're not legit. So let's face it, I don't know enough about Bellator or MMA in general to make such claims, but I'm just saying what on average experts have been saying roughly. So
yeah. Matt,
WWE are proud to announce that they have a higher subscription rate for the network.
Yay!
So, if we're going by what they've said, they need 1.3 million subscribers to break even, apparently. Now, I'm not quite sure if that is the same, because I think that number was done on the assumption that they weren't having ads. And obviously, as we know now, anyone who has the network knows there's ads on the network. Yeah. They're getting at least some revenue from that. Maybe not a lot, but it's some. It's helpful. Okay.
So the thing is, it's all it's about 3 seconds of, but it's not of anything other than their own product.
Yeah, they haven't been able to link a lot of really big advertisers for the network itself.
I've just been getting Watch Legends House.
Yeah,
it's like, okay,
yeah, some of that, yeah, which obviously they're not getting paid by anyone to view, to advertise their own stuff, of course, but they have recouped some back. Okay, so the number they're looking around is just over 1.2 million subscribers. So they've gone up. I think they're around 1.1 after the Mania buzz, and we said that they would drop off a lot. I don't think they were expecting that much, but I was expecting they were going to drop off that much.
Yeah.
The good news for WWE though is that we're heading into that said WrestleMania season. So if they manage to play a lot of these big cards that they've had their Undertaker, their Brock Lesnar working a lot of dates than what you would expect them to do. Mania season is coming up. They're probably going to get a lot more subs coming into. I mean, they will get more subs going into Mania season. So the number's going to be healthy from at the very least now until you're looking around Mania season. So now after that, Matt, I'm probably expecting another 200,000 drop. That's probably what I'm expecting again to happen. Maybe even more. Don't know. But this is good news for WWE. I mean, they may not have been getting high ratings, but one of the other things they've been pushing for is obviously more people to be taking on the network, and clearly they've succeeded, albeit at a very light level, shall we say.
Yeah.
But sure, if I'm WWE, I'm taking this as a win. You know.
It's like, we're up. We're up. Yay.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, it puts their investors at somewhat ease, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's obviously good news on WWE's. The only thing I will say though is that it does play into a lot of what we said before, is that they've had to use a lot of these returning stars to garner interest in this network. I'm talking about them bringing Sting back for Night of Champions, and having Lesnar and Taker wrestle 2 matches, one of them being a Hell in a Cell match to garner interest. They ain't always going to have these guys around. Like, I know Lesnar's got a 3-year deal, fair enough, but Taker, nah, he's doesn't have much left. You know, there's only so much you can use that guy, and it all goes down, I think, down to WWE needing to create new stars, which I think they've needed to. I mean, come on,
Well, to be fair, we've been saying that for a while.
We said that since episode 1. You know, like if we say it next week, I'm sure we've said it every single episode that we've had this show. But it is the truth. That's how we feel. I think a lot of people do agree with us on that. But yeah, I think on this front, in terms of network subscription, I think WWE will be okay until after WrestleMania, and then they're going to start feeling the sting of such things going on. Do you think then, Matt, that over WrestleMania season they may hit over the 1.3? They might get 1.4. I think there's a chance.
Yeah, I think it's a good opportunity to do it.
Yeah. Which means by their next quarterly call they could have quite an impressive number. I'm guessing that's what they're hoping for, but we'll see how it goes. It's interesting to me. I love looking at these numbers. I don't know about you guys, but the ratings and the numbers, I find them fascinating and how they work. And one of the best books I read had about wrestling it chronicalized all the ratings and pay-per-view buy rates of WCW during its big boom and when it decreased and died off. It's fascinating read. It's really awesome. So, really good stuff. Matt, are you ready for the fan feedback? Unless you don't have any news to throw my way.
No, not particularly.
Well, we got plenty of fan questions. Fan questions. Before I start, I always open this up to you, Matt. Do you have any from your mafia, shall we call them?
I do have a mafia question.
You do have a mafia question? Oh, all right
indeed.
then. Go ahead.
I had it. It's from my usual lieutenant.
Your capo or your lieutenant? I don't know.
My capo.
Your
the one you would like to refer to as traitor.
Yeah. Everyone who joins the mafia is a traitor, Matt. It doesn't matter who they are.
So we got Dad basically asks, it's not so much a wrestling thing. It's like, well, do you guys prefer listening to a wrestler on a podcast or a good old-fashioned shoot interview?
So I guess it's like, do we prefer like the podcast style ones or a good shoot interview where they've gone off and this person's basically just going to release, like basically like the CM Punk one, right? Is that kind of what we're looking at?
I'm guessing so. That's how I'd read it.
Well, it's your question, Matt. It's your mafia. You can answer it first.
I prefer podcast.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Purely for the fact I quite enjoy. I don't know. There doesn't have the structure to it. Well, they kind of are a bit structured, but they're not. If that makes sense.
You also have the thing that some shoot interviews, if you've got like an interviewer that's interviewing the guy who's shooting, right? You know, and sometimes
guided.
Well, not only that, it's sometimes they'll bring up things, and the wrestler won't remember what happened, or what he says, isn't entirely always legit, shall we say? Along those lines. So you're going for
podcast.
Okay, fair enough. I'm a little bit less decided, I guess. I do love me a good shoot interview sometimes, especially if they're good, and the guy has a history of not talking a lot of bullshit. Then I'll be interested. There is a lot of shoot interviews out there that are cringeworthy because you're listening to this guy and he's talking a lot of stuff, but it's very much like it conflicts with a lot of other people.
How much rage. You can just hear the rage.
It's rage, and it's a lot of his side of the story and him not being able to take himself out of the situation. There's a lot of that goes around. So, if I'm on an evening, if I want to relax and play a game and listen to a podcast, there's no question. It would be the wrestler one, the podcast one style, where it's like an interview, not so much a shoot, but... If there's a good like that CM Punk one, like literally that is a shoot interview, right? That really is. Stuff like that's just enthralling. Like you're always going to remember what's said on there, but
Yeah.
in subreddits. So maybe that's maybe I'm a little bit in the middle, shall we say? But there we go.
Different times for different measures.
Yeah, in it. Yeah, I mean, if I really want to get excited and like really try and match up what things that have been said and stuff like this, and trying to get down to like the core, what's happened, it's awesome. But I think that sometimes when you get into listening to shoot interviews, it's a minefield. You don't quite know what's being said is really legit because these guys are all still working. You know, they're all still working an angle to a point.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes there'll be some people that you know that you've got a history of being genuine, and you know, just along those lines. But still. So my questions then. Thomas Oliver asks, who do we think would be good additions to the Lucha Underground roster? He thinks Carlito, MVP, Low Ki, and Havoc from TNA. I would say Low Ki is a fit. He would go in.
Yeah.
Then that's completely fine. MVP, maybe. I don't know. I kind of had my fill of him, to be honest.
I can't see how MVP could fit.
Only if he's like leading the crew or something like that, you know. If he's but I mean, then he's just basically ripping off what he did in TNA for a little bit. So yeah.
Yeah, or sort of like I was thinking just sort of like as he's the guy, sort of starts running orders for Big Rick or something. But then if there's one thing that's been quite clear is you don't really mess with Big Rick.
Yeah,
and he does his own thing.
Exactly. Yeah, you know, it just wouldn't work. Carlito, I don't think he would like Lucha Underground. I don't know. He might like it. I don't think he would like working for Lucha Underground, shall we say. And Havoc is obviously a TNA character, so you can't use him. However, there is one guy on that list from TNA that I think that is a given should be on the Lucha Underground roster, and that is Abyss. He should be there now, right? Like, without question. Could you imagine some of the matches Abyss could have on that roster?
Yeah,
right,
that's true.
And his character already seems like it belongs there, really, to be honest, you know. And like, you know, then you can start dream matching it, Abyss against, you know, King Cuerno. You know, you can have Abyss versus Drago, right? That would be a cool visual. Abyss versus Pentagon, Abyss versus Mil Muertes, right? There's a lot of matches that you could put there. I mean, man, is that a heavyweight clash? Abyss versus Mil Muertes, you know? So it works to me. I think Abyss is a clear one. What about you, Matt? Is there anyone else that you think? I'm not just talking about TNA. I'm talking about in general. Who do you think would be a good fit? That they could realistically make an offer for, shall we say?
Yeah, I think that's kind of a key thing. So we're just going over speculating. Yeah, I can't really fault that.
What, Abyss?
Abyss or any of them, really. I mean, you got to think how much money it's going to be. I don't even think he really out of the realms of possibility, depending on how much their season 2 gets to finance. But I'd quite like to see Ray.
I think they are going to get Ray. I know he's open to WWE, but I think by them signing Del Rio is pretty much a...
Nah, we don't need...
Yeah.
We're trying to replace you. We're kind of like giving up if we just get you back.
I reckon it's a good chance they get Ray for next season. I do. I honestly do. I was kind of shocked that he wasn't in first season, to be honest. I mean, I know there was some problems going along with the, on his contract himself with WWE, but he was still working at AAA at that time, right? So really, I think there's a good chance they get Ray. I think Ray is a good fit. I don't know how much he's willing to put his body on the line, but that really isn't his job. He's supposed to be a drawing power for them, right? You know, for his name and everything. So. Oh yeah. But yeah, I actually think that if Lucha Underground wanted to go for Abyss, I actually think they wouldn't have to really splash that much cash out for the guy. I think they could get him. Yeah, he's going to come with a let's say a respectable amount of money that you would expect, but you're not going to splash out like you did for Del Rio or anything like that, right? It's it's someone that is a bit player in TNA that has a good history. I think he fits in with how everything goes. I'll go Abyss all day long.
Yeah.
Kane St. Dennis asks, who do we think should be on Stone Cold's next podcast?
Ooh.
I have an answer for this that is perfect. I've been thinking about this a lot. So before I give mine, Matt, who would you first think of? Just so I wonder if we're on the same track.
Who would like straight off the bat?
You may have forgotten about him.
I don't know.
You want to know my answer, aren't you? You're tentative.
Yeah.
I've titillated you, have I? Shall I say? My answer is, without doubt, Jerry the King Lawler. I think he should be Stone Cold's next guest on his show, simply because of his length in the company and his history in wrestling in general, and the fact that he had the best seat in the house for Austin's greatest period in wrestling. You're not going to get JR because WWE don't like him, but I think you could have a great back and forth between Lawler and Austin talking about those times, and Lawler himself, when you get him outside of that planned area, which is the commentary, I know he's doing on SmackDown and on the pay-per-views, when you get him outside of that, he's still as charismatic as ever. He's just as a commentator under the new system that WWE wants to go down. He's just not very good, right? Yeah, I think Jerry Lawler, absolutely, 100%. If you're looking at
that was actually a really good answer.
Yeah, I was quite proud of that one myself. So, I mean, you could have very good candid talks between what was Jerry's most favorite moment calling an Austin match. What do you remember? What was Austin's favorite memories of Lawler when he was trained to become a wrestler and stuff like that. I think there's a few interesting. I mean, come on, it's Jerry Lawler. He's got a few interesting stories there that maybe Austin can peel out of him that isn't entirely PG, shall we say, but that's what we're here for. So Jerry Lawler, that's my pick. Absolutely. There is another question here though, Matt, that he asks, which one of us would be better to be interviewed on the Stone Cold podcast?
Ooh.
What do you think? You or me, man? I thought we were like Ant and Dec, you can't have one without the other, That's how it was.
Tough.
Austin's being tough on us. You can only have one. Who would do it? Who would we choose to go on?
I will go with you.
Oh, really? Oh, why would you do that?
As the more focal speaking box of this whole endeavor.
Well, I have something that might counter that a little bit.
Okay.
I get the feeling, being in front of Austin, and being such a huge fan of Austin that I am, people know on this show I can sometimes talk very fast. And I get the feeling that on Austin's show I would probably word vomit at the speed of around about 5 billion words a minute. So maybe, because being the cooler one
I can only just imagine sort of the response of, you need to calm the hell down in this sumbitch.
Yeah, I think that probably would happen. So I think the one who could deal with the situation with more poise and with a little bit more less freaking out, shall we say, would probably be you. So I'm taking you. I would pick you too.
Oh, okay.
So, but still, maybe you guys can break this deadlock. Who you think should go on? Just bear in mind that I will probably be like, oh no, it's Austin, yeah, it'll probably be like that. To be honest, I would either say nothing or everything at once, and it would be ugly. So there we go. Matt would probably be a cool pimp daddy rocking in. He'd be hey Steve, how's it going on? Just Matt Marsander. How you doing, man? Yeah, cool. Wearing the hat, playing the bongos and shit like that you had for Edge and Christian. Just having a good old time. That's it. I'm making you out to seem like when I say smooth pimp daddy, like you just sit down for the podcast each week with your pimp cane and your hat, and your bitch is just waiting for you. Is that your alter ego? Is that really what you are all along?
Yeah, no.
Are you the Godfather? Is that what I'm getting at here? Is you just, are you on the Ho train?
I am not on the Ho train.
You're not on the Ho train. Okay, all right. Crimson are moving away from. I think we're going down a shameless pay-per-view plot there, so let's sidestep away from that. Crimson Omega says the most shocking thing on Raw this week was Wyatt acknowledging that he lost the match. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. All those weeks saying the word inconsequential has to count for something. So he's learning. That's good. That's good. Acceptance is one of the steps that he must take on his life.
Was it to fix the problem? You must first admit that there is a problem.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it, Matt. Maybe you should be his therapist. Maybe along those lines. Oh, maybe they're missing out on some comedy segments on trying to have Dr. Shelby as his therapist. But still, not that I would be a fan of them trying to make Wyatt into a comedy character, but still, maybe they just abduct Shelby and kill him. You know, it's Halloween. Get gruesome. Why not?
Dr. Shelby.
Yeah. He's expendable, Matt. He's expendable. So you have Kane fighting to reclaim Shelby. What? No.
The fight of Survivor Series.
Yeah, the fight for Shelby.
For Dr. Shelby's soul.
Dr. Shelby locked in a cage above the ring, and whoever wins gets to keep him. He's just like... well, that's a Vince Russo idea there, Matt. I think we're on to... I think Vince is writing this down.
I think we're on to a terrible thing.
I think Russo's writing this down and sending a letter off to Vince McMahon. All those letters that he sends that they don't really care about, but still. All those open letters that he puts out. His main question, though, is considering the main event of Raw this week, would we rather want to see Reigns versus Rollins or Reigns versus Owens?
I would rather see Rollins Owens.
Really? No, sorry, Reigns Owens.
Rollins Owens.
So you're going completely. You want to see Rollins Owens? Okay.
Well, no, I would have wanted Owens to have won. So we got.
I see how you're going. Yeah.
Rollins versus Owens is the main event.
Okay. Why would you go in for that?
Because I think they could have a much better match.
Okay. I went with...
Plus, it will be a true indie darling match.
Oh, it would be, yeah. My pick, however, was exactly what WWE did this week. What they've got planned, which is Reigns against Rollins. That is the match I would want to see. Now, obviously, maybe that's gone with... maybe gone a little bit again... a spoiler for my thoughts of Raw at the end of this show. But no disrespect for Owens, but on the main roster... Since his Cena...
Something's missing.
WWE obviously don't give a second thought to the guy. They even putting the belt on him, right? It was a little bit like, okay, we'll just... that's your role. You can do fine just over there with your title, and we'll focus on what we want to focus on. That's kind of what it's like. We're actually seeing the worst of Owens at the moment, which is unfortunate. But I am actually a lot more excited than I imagine than most are for Reigns versus Rollins, and we're going to talk about the ascent of Reigns and my thought on that, and what funny enough, who we interviewed a couple of weeks ago, Solid Monster, put out an article, and I was kicking myself because I was about to say pretty much the same thing on this show before we put it out, so I wanted to claim to it first, but we'll get to that later, but still. BX Girl HS left so many awesome comments I can't reference them all, but I will say that my love for Asuka is ridiculous as well. Is your love for Asuka ridiculous, Matt?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How can it not be?
It's pretty damn awesome. I loved it. I tell you what though, how
can anyone not love that creepy grin?
Yeah. I'll tell you what, right? You know my daughter, Matt. My 6-year-old.
Okay, yeah.
Who is pretty much lovely rainbow. She thinks everything's great in the world. Even she loved Asuka and how much of a badass she is. So there you go. She reaches to the kid demographic. There you go. You've got it right there. So she is pretty damn awesome. Alex from Wrestling Boom asks us to forget the last question they had last week and asks us, what is our perfect Survivor Series team? Now, Alex, we've actually answered our perfect Survivor Series team before. So I may go against what you said here and answer the question you left last week. Because I actually really fucking like that question and I really want to get to it. So against your wishes, and I hope that's okay, I'm actually going to take your question from last week. And it is, the question was, what would we do in terms of storyline? This is in terms of how we would make the stories on the show. to improve the ratings and the viewership of Monday Night Raw? I am really gutted that I didn't catch this question last week because it's awesome. I actually like this here.
So I'm hearing this question as how would we fix Raw?
Essentially, right? But not in, I'm guessing it's terms of the storyline specifically, right? So what I would go under, Matt, is I've got a few things, tidbits that I want to add in here, and obviously I want to get your thoughts on what you think as well. But I would, in terms of storyline, I would probably use a lot more vignettes and video packages than they currently do. I would
use more backstage sections.
What do you mean?
I don't think we have to. I was about to say I don't think we have enough backstage moments, but then we have quite a few when it comes to the Authority.
Yeah,
but
you're talking about other people for once.
Well, no, or just ones that actually give us something.
Yeah.
Like this week, for example, where it's just like Reigns and Ambrose are watching the TV.
Yeah. Or like, you know, not in the usual formula that they do, where they've just got Renee Young interviewing people random backstage. It's like they got 3 placeholder promos, backstage promos.
Yeah.
And they just kind of alternate them out. Yeah, I get what you mean. One of the things, I went back and watched some Attitude Era stuff this week, and you see how many different ways, that different locations that they would interview someone or do a backstage segment in. It's just not as, they're very set in their ways, WWE now. So yeah, I would use a lot more vignettes and everything like this. I would go under the philosophy in terms of building a big storyline and a big, you want to have these guys interacting with each other, but I would make the interactions completely non-physical. So I would make it so, you know, sometimes they do this rule of you can't touch this guy until the pay-per-view, otherwise you won't get your title match. They do that sometimes. I actually think that's quite beneficial, because that way when they first...
They haven't done that for a while, though,
no,
to be fair.
No, they haven't. But that works 2 ways, because, if you just got this for a general storyline where they just don't get there, they don't wrestle each other until it builds up, how are they actually going to wrestle? You know, how are they actually going to get on when they're actually fighting each other? You know, how will the styles mesh? And on Raw at the moment, they have, like, for instance, they had a Kane and Rollins match in a lumberjack match 2 weeks before their title match. Like, they basically gave you the match, right? Which is, I don't understand why they do that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I would keep them as far apart physically as possible. And even if you've got a storyline that's very heated about, you stole my opportunity or you attacked my girlfriend or anything of this crap, right? But it's very much like it's very heated. Even then, I would not have any physical... You have their face trying to get his hands on the heel, but the heel always getting away, right? I would lower the physical interactions between the rivals. Yeah, you can have them wrestling other people, but I wouldn't have them actually fighting each other as much.
Yeah.
And I would, in general, try and make all the matches, at very least, mean something. Something small. Lower the amount of random, meaningless matches that they have in these rivalries sometimes. Like their 6-man tag matches that they just throw out there every now and then. Just the mid-card fighting each other randomly. So there's just a few things that came to mind. Is there anything else in terms of storylines that you would use to improve, like building up a story or anything along those lines?
What else what could be done? You know what? I think you've been pretty thorough.
I love this question. I spent like an hour writing all this shit up. So
yeah, it's just another one of those moments where it's like, Matt, here's the question. What? We're live. What?
Yeah, and I've done all my research and I've thought about this for hours. And yeah, it was pretty much that. Yeah, to be honest, but yeah, I love this question. These are the sort of questions I love, where you can lay out things that can change the storylines and stuff like that. But I like to go on.
We can kick off. I was about to say most of the Divas division.
Oh, okay.
And we will give ourselves Divas matches, women's matches that matter.
Yeah. The first thing I would do.
Not, I don't know if I can trust you. Well, I don't know if I can trust you. But if you beat up her, we're not going to be friends. We're not friends anyway.
Or have another 100th PCB versus Bella's match. Yeah, like 6 women. Man, WWE do like them six-person tag matches, don't they? Jeez, doesn't matter what division it's in. It's 6 man.
Tag team match.
That's it. They've taken Teddy Long's beautiful vision of tag team matches each week, and they've twisted it dark, and they've given us the 6 man tag match.
Do you remember when SmackDown was the show for tag teams?
Yeah.
Like, we're talking like SmackDown 6 time.
Yeah.
No one cared.
Yeah.
Because it was so good.
It was fun.
And now it's not so good.
We're going to talk about a tag team later, though, Matt, that we do think is quite fun. Who, funny enough, probably would have fit in that SmackDown 6 period quite well. But we'll get into that later on. Mr. Jordan. Oh, by the way, here we go, Matt. Last week we had a few submissions because you have your Marsander Mafia, which is great, awesome, fantastic.
Yep.
Work, right. We don't quite have a name for my group yet, but just when I thought things were looking bleak, just when I thought it's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen here. Mr. Jordan comes in and he's given us a selection of winners, and I'm going to go through them, Matt, and get your thoughts on them.
Okay.
So we have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turbos. Yeah.
Okay.
Turb Your Enthusiasm. I like this one.
Ah.
I like this one. The Cult of Turbinality. I like that one. That one's good. The Homicidal, Genocidal, Turbicidal Maniacs. Or just simply, Tony's Homies.
It's so simple.
It's so simple. My 2 picks are Cult of Turbinality or Tony's Homies. I could be like ICP with my homies, you know.
To be fair, I quite like the Turbicidals.
Oh, the Turbicidal, yeah.
Yeah.
But you don't get a pick. You have your Mafia, so there you go.
I didn't pick my Mafia.
Yeah. Well, it was just so good to begin with anyway. So there you are. Yeah. I'm gonna something will come up soon where we can vote officially and we can crown all of my fans either the members of the Cult of Turbinality or Tony's Homies. I think that's what we'll have to go with there. But I tip my hat to you, Mr. Jordan. That is quite a lineup of names. You like a white knight coming out of the darkness. You give us all these names like a savior. That's how you do it. I will remember this, Mr. Jordan, when it comes time to remembering the fans that mean the most. That's right. You came to me in my time of need. Testify. I'm getting a bit of my diva now. Anyway, NXT report card, Matt. Are you ready? Oh, by the way, guys, before Matt, I'll let you know if you're ready or not. Obviously, you can leave your questions in the comment section below, or Matt's at our Twitter handle.
That's it. At Talk WrestlePod.
That's it. That's where it is.
And the Marsander Mafia shall grow.
If you feel like, I guess, if you want to join the Marsander Mafia, I mean, it's not really that great, really, to be honest. But you know, that's just me saying. You know, to be honest, following me is pretty cool. Come on. You know, yeah. Even Matt wants to be on my side, but he can't because you know he's lame. You know how it is. You know, yeah.
No. How dare you suggest such things?
Let's move on to the NXT report card before this gets awkward.
Out of hand.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. We need to make like recruitment videos at one point. You know, just doing all those lines. Emma. Anyway, that's who we're doing on the report card this week. So.
So glad it's just out of nowhere, just randomly just go, Emma! What?
Yeah. So, we're reviewing Emma this week. But we do have some thoughts. We're going to talk a little bit further about Nia Jax. Matt has some thoughts. I have a little bit of research that I've done on Nia Jax about her thoughts and other people, what they think of her. And we're going to be talking about what was easily the best match of the week this week. And we'll get to that later on. But it happened on NXT, so there we are. The reason we choose Emma this week is because we haven't talked about her in a while. And it's looking that she's going to be Asuka's next opponent, which makes sense, I guess. You know, Dana Brooke was already dealt with, and you've got Emma, who's the more experienced, and I don't look at any of them as the leader of that little group that they've got, but still, you know, she's the next one on the chopping block, shall we say? you know all the history of Emma, Matt. You know that she got in trouble for allegedly shoplifting, which WWE fired her, then quickly reinstated her because obviously it made them look very hypocritical.
Well, yeah. Suddenly just sort of like, one of your guys has got arrested for drugs.
Yeah.
He's not been fired.
Yeah.
She's possibly stolen a $20 phone case. Fired.
Yeah. We got like DUIs on that roster. You got what was it? Weed the People, which Jack Swagger got caught driving while smoking weed. It's that sort of stuff that you can't really there's a precedence that you set there. So yeah,
the evolution.
But we said back then, man, we knew back then that WWE were pushed. They didn't want to rehire her, right? And it was very evident by the fact that they rehired her and then chose not to use her on the main roster.
Well, they didn't. No, they just dumped her with Santino.
Yeah, but I mean,
well done. You're gonna this is where the gimmicks go to die.
Yeah, and then Santino retired. She was left with nothing, right? So
yeah.
She went back to NXT. And when she came back, she had...
The only place she was safe.
Yeah. Funny enough, things have been going a little bit better for her since she's been NXT. That isn't...
Now she's not safe because she's going to get kicked.
Well, yeah, from Asuka, yeah. But she's gone heel now. She's changed her dance for... changing... I love the way that they changed her entrance music into like a mash of her old music.
Oh, how it opens up and then just sort of... Yeah, I like it.
I like that. And she's gone evil on her. She's evil Emma. She's 100 times hotter than what she was as the goody two-shoes Emma. Damn, is she... Evil Emma. Evil Emma's got it going on. I will say that.
The difference of dark red lipstick is drastic.
It is. I don't know what it is, but damn. I like that. That's working for me. But we know, come on guys, we knew this even before the trouble happened. You could argue... Let's talk about Nikki Bella. I know is with bated breath wants to hear this. What really started the Divas division, the Divas Revolution? Sorry, you could go back and look at the first match between the NXT Divas that really stole the show, and you're looking at Paige versus Emma. Yeah. Everyone seems to forget that she had that big groundbreaking match that everyone was talking about back then as being the greatest women's match that they had that year easily, and it was. But obviously things haven't worked out for her. But people forget how good she is in the ring because of all the problems that have happened in the interim. I like how she's gone heel. I think she's a good heel, Matt. How do you like her being heel? Do you think it works?
I do like her being heel. I think my key problem with it recently was that she was sort of like trying to become her own thing, and then she started playing second fiddle to Dana Brooke. But now they're sort of like one of the same anyway.
Yeah, they're kind of more equal, especially people could argue that technically Emma's the leader of their little group because Asuka's facing her last, which I don't think it's that way. I just think it's just the way it is. But obviously they put Emma with Dana to help Dana. Right, it certainly wasn't to help Emma. It's to put her with someone that they could have tag matches with. And Emma, obviously, clearly is a fantastic worker. Dana, not so much. Right, she's getting better, and her getting better, I'm sure, has got something to do with the fact that she's spending time with Emma in the ring. Right, there's got to be something to do with it there. Funny enough, you put wrestlers around good wrestlers, they tend to get better anyway by learning. I think, Matt, that her match with Asuka could be something very special. Emma's.
Yeah.
I think this could be Emma's way of...
second coming of Emma.
Yeah. I do think there's a possibility that Emma, she's going to use this as an opportunity to remind everyone that, look, when all this started, when everyone started getting on the women's bandwagon... It was me. I was part of the thing that got that thing started in the first place. Remember what I did and what I'm capable of. I think we might get a bit of that in her match with Asuka. I'm sure Asuka's going to win. Of course she's going to win, but I think we might see the best.
I reckon we're going to see a solid women's match.
Yeah, I think we're going to see something very enjoyable. And Dana Brooke did her role very well in that match with Asuka, because she was basically a body that bumped well for her. I'm not going to take anything away from Dana, but she did exactly as much as her skill level could probably pertain to at this current time. Emma is a far better wrestler than Dana Brooke. And it's no, I'm not saying bad about Dana Brooke. In fact, I'm quite happy with how she's slowly progressing. But Emma's fantastic. We know how good she is. So the match she could have with Asuka could be very, very good.
Oh, yeah.
And I think she's a valuable asset to NXT. What grade would you give Emma?
I would give Emma a B+.
A B+? I've gone a little bit higher than you.
I'm gonna wait for the Asuka match.
Okay, fair enough. I've gone with A-. Now, maybe I'm feeling a little bit more favourable to Emma. Maybe I'm remembering a lot of the stuff that she did. It's okay to be a little bit wary, considering of the body of work she's done since then has not been. She's one of those people I feel has been extremely hard done by, you know. But
yeah,
still,
that's true.
I still think, in terms of NXT, especially with the women's division being gutted of their 3 biggest stars recently, I think Emma could fit into this, could step forward and make something of herself more than just being this bit player.
Really prove herself a bit, yeah.
The opportunity hopefully is there for her. Obviously not here. I mean, she's enhancement talent for Asuka, but still, I'm hoping so. But still, Matt, let's talk a little bit about Nia Jax. We did the report card on her last week, but you wanted to talk a little bit about things that changed this week with Nia Jax. What was your thoughts?
So my only problem was, I wasn't entirely impressed with her debut match.
Okay.
And then it came to the this week being her second match ever, and I realised what a problem was.
Okay.
She's routine.
Routine?
Well, not... is routine the word I'm trying to think of? Sort of autonomous, forced.
Okay. I'm getting what you're meaning.
I don't know, it was just off her entrance. It was just sort of and then I stand against the ropes, and then I walk forward, and then I smile, and then I turn around, and it's sort of there wasn't any sort of real flow to it.
You get the feeling that that every single moment was obviously every wrestler's entrance is rehearsed, but it just seemed like a little bit too methodical. Is that the word?
Yeah,
methodical?
That's probably the good choice for it. It doesn't. It seems quite methodical rather than feeling natural.
I get you. It's like one of those things where you've got Finn Balor has his entrance, which is obviously planned. Every single movement is planned, but it looks real. It looks natural when he's coming out demon and stuff like that, and all that. I get what you mean. I'm struggling with Nia Jax. I think there's potential there. We went through this last week, but I wanted to get a second opinion, so I did. I got a second opinion this week.
Okay.
Well, obviously I got a second opinion, which is yours, Matt. In which case I got a third opinion.
Yeah.
That normally takes the form of my wife, who watches some wrestling with me on occasion. I had her watch a Nia Jax match. Now, without seeing her gear from last week, I don't even know what the plan was with that gear. That was horrific. She had changed gear this week, right? She had gone back to some of the stuff that she had before, and I thought that was obviously a lot better. But for someone who hadn't seen the gear she had before, she was still very critical of the gear she had. So,
yeah,
don't really know what to make of that. Maybe obviously I'm biased because I've seen stuff before, so I'll take anything better than that, right? But she agrees with you, Matt. Funnily enough, with you saying that, she thought something was not quite right. It was, she thought that her wrestling Kaylee Ray was not a good pick.
What, the stick?
The stick, yeah. And I like Kaylee Ray, by the way. She was on TNA Boot Camp, and she's one of those high flying female wrestlers, and she's done her rounds. So I like her, but I think it was the wrong pick. And when I got to it, I was a little bit like, well, sometimes they do this. They have, they accentuate the strength of Nia Jax by making her face a woman who's very small and thin and high flyer. But she was saying along the lines of, well, it would have been nice if she fought someone that was someone looked like they could at the very least take one of Nia Jax's punches, right? That they could.
Yeah.
They had a little bit of strength to them. She pointed out Bayley as being one of the women who isn't completely stick thin, and by no means is she, you know, she's still a very good figure, of course, but she's not, you know, she's not very small. She's, you know, she's a strong woman, right? So she kind of pointed that out. But yeah, I want to get second thoughts because obviously I want to like Nia Jax, I really do. But obviously there's just stuff. I mean, hopefully it kind of figures it out. But the feeling isn't quite right yet, man. Is that the?
Yeah.
That's a good way to
I
go
guess
around
pretty,
it.
mate.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Matt, I needed another opinion on Nia Jax.
Okay.
So I had my daughter watch the match. She didn't really watch it long. She watched Paw Patrol,
Yeah,
which was on the TV or something. So unfortunately, I couldn't bring you that exclusive information. But there you go. She stuck around for the Asuka match, though. I will say that she watched that. She liked that, but not so much the Nia Jax match. But still. Matt, are you ready to talk about this? I know you've been waiting. Jason Jordan and Chad Gable versus Gargano and Ciampa in a tag team match. What a fucking match this was, huh? This is easily the best match of the week.
I was going to say, I know what generally comes after that. Would you go as far to say it was a humdinger of a match?
You could say it was a humdinger of a match. I haven't been able to say, I like that. I feel that in my diaphragm. Oh, yeah, it's good. It was a humdinger of a match, this one. Oh, it was good. Guys, I said to Matt, if you're having a hard time getting through Raw, save this match. Don't watch it quite yet. When you feel low and down in the dumps and you're not quite... You think to yourself, well, I'm just not feeling wrestling at the moment. It's just not encapsulating me. Some of these matches just not really working for me. I said, save this match until you feel just like that, because it will make you believe in wrestling again. That's how cool this match was. Now everyone knows that. Some people may levy the accusation at us, Matt, that you and me would happily get on our knees and blow Jason Jordan and Chad Gable because of how much we like them, but... Damn it, they're a good tag team.
Yeah.
Leave that ambiguous right there. I actually think that Gable and Jordan is one of the best things in NXT at the moment. Easy. Yeah. Absolutely.
And I can't wait because they've got to go on the title hunt.
They've got to.
I'm so looking forward to it.
I'm hoping that they get on the title hunt for London. I hope that they... Yeah. I don't think they will. I think
I'm getting a Gable towel.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'll happily get a Gable towel. I am ready, willing, and Gable for that merchandise. That's what I am. I think there's money in this team, and a lot of people I've said this before, a lot of people levy the, just because there's one white guy and there's one black guy and they're both athletic and what they wear, it's like, it's the new Haas and Benjamin. I actually think that this team is better than Haas and Benjamin.
Yeah.
I really do. There's something special about these guys. The fact you've got Gable doing his phenomenal mat-based wrestling, and you've just got Jordan at ringside, just admiring it, just loving it. He's laughing along with the fans. He's clapping along. He's having a great time. And then you've got Gable tags in Jordan. Jordan, I think, is doing a great job at trying to catch up to the popularity that Gable's got so quickly. You know, he goes in there, does his thing, and Gable's admiring his work. And it's awesome seeing... You know, Jordan go in there suplexing falls like it's nothing, and you know, if there's going to be a new mayor of Suplex City around, then certainly Jason Jordan's throwing his hat into the ring for it.
That's it.
When they're on fire, this team, and nothing against Gargano and Ciampa, they had some really good moments themselves in this match. But come on, Gable and Jordan are something special. They really are. I love this team.
It was such good fun to watch. I mean. Yeah, I mean, nothing to take away from sort of like Gargano Ciampa, but it's just like, even that spear that, like, through the ropes as the bait.
Yeah.
That was gold.
Yeah, there was some parts in this match. One of the things I thought of this match, where I knew it got me. You know, sometimes when you watch a match, Matt, and you knew the match has got you. It's got you by the balls, and it's going to take you wherever you want to go, and you're happy for it, right?
Yeah.
It was the moment where I knew... I had thought in my mind for a second, because I thought, obviously, this is an enhancement match for Gable and Jordan. I think there was a moment in this match that I genuinely thought that Ciampa and Gargano were going to get the win. They'd taken me out of my pre-mindset of the match, and I'd become engrossed in it. I was like every near fall. I was in it. I was in the match.
Yeah, it was a key. Yeah.
They had achieved
when that dirty DDT that Jordan took.
Yeah. Where Jordan sold it perfectly, where he's just like in a heap, right? He's just fucking done, right?
Just all of a sudden, Jason Jordan is a tree.
Yeah, essentially, right. Yeah, and they got me, Matt. I'm guessing, did they get you as well? Did they get you just sucked in?
Yeah, there was that moment where it's like, hang on.
Yeah. That is what every match should strive to do to you, which is to take you out of the situation you're in and suck you into the match. And I was completely 100% into this. God, Jason Jordan and Chad Gable are awesome. They really are. And if they got a shirt out in London, like I said, they probably will have the towel. I'm probably going to buy them, both of them. They're great. I think they're great. And a lot of people will go, well, Gable's so much better than Jordan. He's so much more over. I think Jordan is got a lot more going for him than people give him credit for. I honestly do. So, both these guys, they give a thumbs up for me. Matt, if we get an NXT report card on these guys, they're getting an A+. I don't think they've done anything wrong at all, both these guys.
No.
To go from where they were to where they are now.
It's been great.
Yeah, it's fun. Guys, it's fun. I love talking about these guys. It's so much fun, their matches. And this one is easily our pick of the week. They do this on their Facebook. They shove a camera in some of the talent's faces and go, what's your pick of the week on the WWE Network? Well, that question, all of them should have gone, that match. Easy.
Yeah.
That match.
How can it not be?
It has to be. Right, Matt. I think it's time to go to...
There was one thing quickly.
Go on.
It's just something I picked up, and I don't quite... Opening match, so Emma's match.
Okay, against Shazza or whatever her name was.
Shazza or whatever. Or basically, what I would like to refer to as the girl who stole Alexa Bliss's old gear.
I know, right? Wasn't that weird?
I was just like nobody's using the skirt, like her skirt recently. So it's like, fuck it, we've got it now.
Yeah. Yeah, it was...
peculiar.
It was a bit peculiar, yeah. We'll say that. The only thing that I thought was weird about that match, I thought Emma was fine, but then Shazza screaming at the end of it as she's got the Emma lock put on her was a little bit uncomfortable, shall we say? It was a little bit odd.
Much.
So shall we get to our Raw review?
Yeah, I think we should.
Straight off Hell in a Cell, Matt. In LA, the Staples Center, Hell in a Cell was, and we're now on the way to Survivor Series. We are celebrating 25 years of The Undertaker, apparently. Obviously, WWE are refocusing on their troubling ratings, which are obviously up and down, but much lower than what WWE would like in general. We've spoken a lot about their ratings problems over the course of the last couple of months, because they've gone a lot lower than what WWE are used to, which is lower than anything that they've had before. I mean, they were breaking records, unfortunately, for having such low ratings for some of the weeks. So this show came from San Diego or San Diego.
Diego.
In German, it's Wales vagina. I think that's what it's called. Don't know. So, but still. JBL tells us it's a hell of a way to start off Raw. Do you know how it's a hell of a way to start off Raw? Do you know how it is?
I've already forgotten.
It's the Authority, Matt. You know it is. You love the Authority. When they come on out, you know it's going to be a grand old time. Yeah, love it. You love it. To be fair to them, they have been absent from the opening segment for a little while, but against that as well, I think they've had more than enough opening segments for to have a long break. We don't need them back, really. They tell us that Seth Rollins had the most impressive victory at Hell in a Cell against Kane. The mighty Kane, Matt, that never looked even close to a chance to winning the title.
Yeah.
That victory, and not beating Undertaker in a cell like Lesnar did. That's not nearly as impressive. Not impressive at all. Stephanie tells Rollins that they had to make sure that Rollins was the right guy Make sure you use the right person that they put all of their thoughts into. And I'm sure they said that about 3 months ago with his match with Lesnar. Remember, we need to make sure you're a diamond, not a lump of coal or something along those lines. Wasn't that what they said?
Yeah, like we'll compress you to the point that like you'll either crumble or you'll
Yeah, right. So maybe they should make their mind up. Maybe they need to decide whether Rollins is the guy or not. Just kind of, just fucking make their mind up. That's pretty much what they need to do, right? Tripp says that he's proud of him, Matt. They're proud of him. They both are. And it's a touching moment. It's filled with hugs. Seth Rollins, he tells us that he's speechless. And then he goes on to tell us a speech about how he beat Kane. So maybe we need to explain what speechless actually means.
Yeah, that's it. Someone fetch the dictionary.
Yeah, that's it. Triple H says that Rollins has cleaned out the WWE, and now people actually have to earn title matches. What a fucking shock, man.
Jesus. You mean like they used to?
Yeah, they have to earn championship matches now. They actually have to have number one contenders will have to be decided in the ring.
You mean someone can't just go, my title?
No, they can't. No, they can't. Matt, I think now, our plan all along, which was to get you to take a shit in Seth Rollins' bag, was going to get you a title match. I don't think that's on the cards anymore. Don't think it is. It's a shame. It's a shame. It really is. He explains that the winners of the pay-per-view, the Hell in a Cell matches, not the matches at Hell in a Cell, that's a little bit more descriptive. We'll have a series of
I was going to say, that would just be Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
That's not a Raw match.
It's WrestleMania all over again. So yeah, the winners of those matches will have a series of matches tonight, and then the winners of those matches will have a fatal four-way. That will decide the new challenger. Roman Reigns comes on out, and I'm suddenly hit with the thoughts that I'm now squished between two big statements that I made this year. One of them was that Rollins would lose his title at the Royal Rumble. I made that statement last week on this show. And then earlier in the year, I said, this is quite a while back now, so maybe not so many people remember it, but I also said that Roman Reigns would be world champion in 2015. Those two don't go hand in hand, obviously. Royal Rumble being in 2016. So which one am I going to pick? Which one am I actually going to stand by here, Matt? I want to have your thoughts. Which one would you think is more likely? Roman Reigns being champion this year, or or Rollins losing it at the Royal Rumble? Which do you think's most likely?
I think Reigns doing it this year.
Yeah, that's the one I'm going
Mostly
with.
Because I'm still hoping that we get Rollins and Triple H at Mania.
Yeah,
and a Rumble will kick that off so well.
Yeah, I think that you're looking at Roman Reigns winning the championship this year. I think he wins it at Survivor Series. So that's the one I'm going with. So, sorry about my prediction of him losing at the Royal Rumble. Clearly wrong, but still. So Reigns has a stare off with Rollins. That's pretty much all they have. It's an ordinary opening segment, but at very least it gave us the spine of the show, shall we say, which often the opening segment involving the Authority can get a little bit lost in itself. So there is that. So that leads into the opening match. Obviously, Reigns won his match against Wyatt, and the New Day won their match. So Kofi comes on out to wrestle Roman Reigns. Big E tells us that Roman Reigns' greasy hair is booty.
Of course it's booty.
It's booty. Yeah. And he has bad style, apparently. And that they are champions and Reigns isn't. And
wasn't they also complaining about, you haven't even changed the colour of your gear?
Yeah. Which, to be fair, the New Day are a lot more colourful than Roman Reigns. Yeah. So there is that. They also tell us to give a unicorn horn for Xavier Woods. Matt, did you put up your unicorn horn?
I did not put up the unicorn horn.
You didn't? Okay.
No.
Quite shocked at that. Okay. They throw.
You really?
No, to be honest, no. They throw Harry Potter spells, forbidden spells, into the ring and then prepare for battle. They did. They
did. What was it? Is it the forbidden spell? No, but when I can't remember what they refer to them as.
Oh, they're basically the lethal Harry Potter spells.
Yeah, but I know that they had like their label.
Oh yeah, they've got. I don't know. To be honest, this is really bad because my wife is like a Harry Potter nut. In fact, my daughter dressed up like Hermione today.
Unforgivables?
So. I know something like that. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, words cannot express to me how much fun the New Day are. They're just so much fun. They're awesome. So decent opening match with the match that has meaning. This match, we talked about earlier on about matches having meaning. This does. Whoever wins this gets a shot at being the number one contender. And the match has meaning, has an end game. Where if you win something, you get something out of this match. Yeah, I like that, to be honest.
Yeah.
And it's also, Matt, I don't know if you've thought about this, it's with two opponents who don't normally wrestle one another. You got Kofi and Reigns. When was the last time you saw Kofi and Reigns fight each other? At the very least, it's not been recent, you know?
I think we're probably still in S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. Reigns ducks under a Trouble in Paradise and then lands what I could only call a dirty ass spear. It's a hell of a spear. He gets one hell of a pop from it as well.
Yeah.
And this kind of gets to my thought now where, I mean, obviously everyone knows where this is going. Roman Reigns. It's more than likely him being the number one contender. I will give you spoilers. He is the number one contender. We'll get to that later on, but still. Matt, I think he's earned his time. I think that we rejected him. Well, I didn't, you and me didn't, but the fans rejected him when they thought he wasn't ready, that he was taking Daniel Bryan's spot, right? We all remember the Royal Rumble earlier on this year.
Yeah.
But come on now. His in-ring work is better now than it's ever been. It's a lot better than some of his...
drastically improved.
Yeah, it's a lot better than some of his enraged haters seem to think they are, right? He stole the show, in my opinion. Not everyone's opinion, but in my opinion, he stole the show at Hell in a Cell. He had the best match on the night.
Mm-hmm.
And we want new stars. I'm ready for Roman Reigns to get his time. I'm ready for Roman Reigns to become a massive star. And sure, some people may say, oh, but he's the new John Cena. They can do everything that they did with John Cena. You know, when it gets to that point, fine, then you can boo the guy. But if we boo someone before we've even given them a chance... The
thing I don't get is like, oh, he'll become the new John Cena. Yeah, but before Cena even became the Cena as we know him now, like, he was trying to get over.
Yeah, right.
That's all it is.
Listen, when Cena was back then, no one gave him the hassle that Roman Reigns got at that time. You know, everyone was ready for.
Yeah, I find it really bizarre actually, because nobody. Well, I mean, it might be because it's a different time where everyone has a voice thanks to the internet. But you know, I mean, you never heard that many people of just like people going, "Oh, he's going to become the new Hogan. Boo this guy."
Yeah. I mean, obviously things are different, but I mean, obviously back then we had lots of stars, so we had no reason to be afraid or anything along those lines. But come on, if they eventually book Reigns to be like that, then sure, do whatever you like. But the fact is, we want new stars. If you're gonna, WWE's gonna pick its stars. If we shoot down every single one that comes along, then they'll just be fine. Okay, so you don't want new people
for not being Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, so you don't want new people. You know what? Well, fair enough. Here's more John Cena. You seem to only want him. You know.
Yeah.
That's probably their mindset. I want new stars. I want Roman Reigns to be a big star. I want him to be a big draw. Right? That's what I want. And to be honest, I don't have a problem with Roman, the guy. Yeah, I mean, why he's been booked hasn't been great, you know. But I think that he's done great strides. I think Roman, the guy, right? Roman Reigns, the wrestler, right, has done everything he can do to try and win the fans around. He's been having these good matches. He had that great match with Bray Wyatt. He's been getting better in the ring. He's been trying stuff on the mic, which it's been hit or miss, but this is all what other people are writing for him, right? He's got the look. It's clear the effort is there, and he's got a passion. Come on, let's just accept Roman Reigns. If he's going to be the one that wins the championship, I'm all for it. Let's do it.
I mean, hell, it's a lot better than a snivelling pile of suffering succotash.
Yeah, okay. Listen, right, the only reason I'm saying this, me and Matt were ready for Reigns to become champion earlier on this year. We didn't have a problem with it, not like a lot of other people did. We were like, fair enough. Okay, let's go for it. Do it. I've got no problem with it. But still, I think it's Reigns' time, and he seems, at the very least on a general level, with WWE's general audience, he seems to have got a connection there. He's getting he got big pops on this show, right? So
That's it.
I'm okay with it, honestly. Yeah. So Miz is backstage at the WWE 2K16 party. He tells them all to shut up and says he'll be Stone Cold better than Stone Cold himself.
When my hand goes up, bullcrap.
And to be fair, they show the Stone Cold Legacy mode, and it all looks great. I'm still not getting WWE 2K16 until it comes out on PC, because I'm not getting it on 360 because it has all the stuff ripped out of it. So
I'm not getting 2K16
just in general
at all. I'm not.
Okay. I might get it when it comes out on PC. I don't know. I might do.
Maybe.
Cesaro versus Owens. Now, I don't know how Cesaro does it each and every
not
week.
this match.
Yeah, but at very least, one thing that you can say about Cesaro is that, like, I don't know how he does it, but he stays enthusiastic, and he tries to steal the show every single time he's out there. I don't know how he does it, how he stays enthusiastic, considering he's been mishandled for the better part of 2 years. Well, really, the majority of his career in WWE, but more so in the last 2 years, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how he does it, to be honest. Still, crack on, well done to that.
Magic.
But, yeah.
Magic is how he does it.
Yeah. Owens, so he dominates this match. Owens snatches it at the death, hits a pop-up powerbomb, then wins. This match was only good because of Cesaro, really. The sheen from Owens has diminished so vividly since his Cena rivalry that it's... I called this guy a once-in-a-generation heel, and it's a shame for him to be used in the fashion that he is, really. But what do you think about this match, Matt?
I thought it sucked.
Owens, unfortunately, is having quite a few poo matches, really. Isn't it, to be honest.
As soon as I watched it, I messaged you, didn't I? And I was just sort of like, I did not enjoy this. I didn't. I was just like, it was a match that had such potential, and it was just boring.
It's overdone as well, though. I mean, these guys rivaled already, so there is something to be said there. But yeah, like I said, for Cesaro doing his amazing moves and so his corkscrew jumping off the back of the fucking rope and then doing his uppercut, that is pretty as hell. Like, it's one of the prettiest moves in wrestling in general.
Oh, agreed.
But
it's just sort of like there's only so many times where it's like seeing it. Yeah.
No, I agree with you, man. I completely agree with you. Paige is backstage. She is so happy, Matt. She's happy that she was on the Conan O'Brien show. I didn't watch her thing, so I'm sure it was fine. Charlotte and Becky almost leave because Paige is, talking all about it. But Paige is so nice. She says that she wants to make up for all the things that she's done, and they want to be friends again, and they shake hands, and it's all lovely. And Charlotte does say, well, if I found out that you attacked Natalya, then there will be consequences. I think it's funny the fact Natalya literally had about 2 weeks in this revolution.
Like, she's back on TV. Oh, she's gone now.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, right? You don't forget about me. I'm Natalya. I'm part of this revolution. Oh, okay, you're gone. Oh, all right, sure. So they're teaming up with each other because Paige is Paige, and she just does mean things sometimes. That's just kind of who she is, right? And so that means that we're getting another... No. We're getting another... No, god damn it! 6-woman tag match, PCB versus Team Bella. Do you like that?
What a shock.
I thought this match was sloppy at parts. Yep. You as well?
No. I think it's just one of those matches where it's just sort of like seeing it.
Yeah.
What else is on?
How many times have we seen PCB against Team Bella at this point? It's fucking ridiculous how much we've seen it.
I just hate how Team Bella is the constant.
Yeah.
Is it going to be PCB versus Team Bad? No, Team Bella.
Yeah, where was that rivalry
Is it going
going?
to be yeah? Which rivalry?
Yeah.
The one that just sort of stopped.
Yeah, the one that it's so awkward. It really is. Becky gets hit with the rack attack. She gets pinned. And they were playing up that Paige was being such a team player throughout this match, and that was until she kicked the shit out of both of the women afterward. But don't worry, guys. Paige just does this sometimes. She'll be friends with them next week. It'll all be fine. That's what Paige is like, you know. She's, just what kind of person that she is, just the way it is. I mean, come on, they have to have Paige be friends with Charlotte and Becky, because how else are they going to have their 6-woman tag matches? I mean, they love them, their 6-woman tag matches, so, how else are they going to have it?
That's it. This whole thing can't end, because if it ends, then what are we going to do?
Yeah.
Singles matches?
Matt, that's crazy talk right there, Matt. That really is. So yeah, that's where the Divas division went this week, but still. Zeb Coulter and Del Rio are backstage with Renee Young. Zeb realizes that, of course, it looks strange to everyone else that they're together with Del Rio. But he doesn't think about walls or borders or fences. He thinks about everyone being together, everyone being one cohesive unit, everyone being together. And which obviously, of course, is everything that Zeb Coulter's wanted to talk about before, of course. Everyone's, no borders at all. We have no need for borders in this world. That's the way it is.
So what are we going to do? We're going to make up our own country.
That's it. He quotes Mex America being their mantra, and they are Mex Americans. And Del Rio says he won't let an immigrant take his opportunity. So, yeah, by the way, borders aren't a thing. Borders, don't worry about. Everyone is one, but we're also still racist.
That's it. Everyone under one banner, but we still believe in outsiders.
Yeah. Make of that what you will. I just thought I thought it was quite funny. To look at it in that way, that the way that they did. That's selective racism there, Matt. That's an extra set of racism that you can go to. That's impressive racism. So.
Well, I guess considering he was against Neville, it's like borders are one thing, but oceans, they're different.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Once there's water involved, that completely changes it. Mex American, though, I don't know about you, Matt. It just sounds like a crossover McDonald's burger. We're here on our brand new menu. Welcome for only on Tuesdays, the burger of the week, the Mex American.
That's it. Just like a terrible mix of the sort of just New York Cracker Jack cheese and just sort of like tortilla.
Yeah.
Something.
So that moves us on to Del Rio's match against Neville.
Against that goddamn immigrant.
Oh yeah, that immigrant that we were talking about from across the pond. I thought this was a good long match. I think that there's a lot of people on this roster that Del Rio has never wrestled before, especially on WWE television at the very least. So there's some interesting matchups possibly on our way, and this is one of them. And you imagine Del Rio's probably had practice wrestling people of Neville's ilk on Lucha Underground, jumping and bouncing all over the fucking place.
That's very true.
There is that. Del Rio gets the victory, and then he moves on. And the roster, like I said, is fresh with new talent for Del Rio to gobble up for a little while, shall we say. But he's looking good, though, Del Rio. Looking impressive. You get what you expect with the guy. But in physical shape, I think he's a better physical shape now than he was in his first run with WWE. So
that's it. I mean, has he still used his arm breaker yet?
No. I mean, I think he's using that kick as his main finish, really.
He's still signaling for the breaker.
Yeah, I'm sure he uses it every now and then. Yeah, I don't think it's too much of an issue. I think he'll use it every now and then. But yeah, Del Rio moves on, and he moves on to the main event. Ryback and Dudley's versus Rusev, Barrett, and Sheamus. Yet another battle of the mid-card. Of course, WWE loving them more 6-man tag matches, of course. I thought this match was okay. Some good action that built up quite nicely towards some point. It looked like Ryback was having a hell of a time here. He was acting like he was Hungry Dudley for the night. That would be his name. Hungry Dudley. They even had a triple meat hook in stereo, all at the same time. It was quite nice, quite good.
The thing is, that bugged me, because I was just like, no, JBL, it's not stereo. Stereo is 2.
Oh, well, there you go, Matt. Well, Matt, you've even said yeah.
Judged.
In unison is the right word.
Yeah.
There we go. But yeah, it looked like Ryback was having a great time.
Oh yeah, even down to the get the tables moment.
Yeah, it
which
looked like,
was obviously their downfall.
yeah, to be honest, yeah, it looked like it was marking out. But as they went for the tables, Bubba is left open, and just for a split second, Barrett has to choose one move that can beat Bubba Ray Dudley.
I don't have long.
Yeah,
I must get this done quick.
what can he use? What can he use? That move, one move, guys. What can he go to win the match?
I mean, as a heel,
Yeah,
it's kind of the one choice, true choice.
yeah, it's got to be the most devastating finishing move in wrestling history. The schoolboy roll up pin. It has to be that. That's the only move that could beat him.
Yeah.
Well, Barrett chose well. He used the move, and guess what? He won. There you go. He wins the match. Barbara is left bemused. I only imagine that the most devastating finishing move isn't used in TNA very often, so maybe he just doesn't know the power of that move yet. I'm sure he'll learn.
What? That was just a standard. Oh no.
No,
It's
no.
become its whole different thing over here.
No. Yeah. So you want to break the streak? We said to break the streak, all you need is the roll up pin. The schoolboy roll up that would have done it. So there we are. Bray Wyatt is in the ring after the commercial break. He tells us for 25 years Taker has had no equal. Everyone feared him. Grown men would tremble at his name, and he would dance. He would go over the bones of the Undertaker to ascend to his throne. And wait a minute, Matt. Doesn't this not sound a little bit familiar?
Awfully similar.
It was damn near exactly the same, was it not?
Yeah. Same promo from Mania.
Yeah, essentially, right. Except for a little bit where he actually, as with the fan feedback shown earlier on, he did refer to the fact that he did lose with Roman Reigns and said, "I'm going to fight you again, but I'm going to revitalize myself with the soul of the Undertaker," and all this sort of stuff. So, yeah, I thought the promo was like pretty good until I realized, wait a minute, I've kind of heard all this.
Like,
before.
this is kind of cool. Wait.
I mean, it's only 6 months ago that WrestleMania happened, just over 6 months. So it's like, come on. We do remember from that long ago. He wants all the fans to share a moment for The Undertaker, and then his little brother, Kane, comes on out. Demon Kane, as the commentary love to call him now, of course. As he gets in the ring, Wyatt magic happens. That's the only way I can explain what it is. Wyatt magic. That happens. And the family go and show up.
All members of the family as well.
Yeah, all of them are there.
Just suddenly out of nowhere, just like Luke Harper is like, I'm still here.
Yeah, I'm still part of this, damn it. Yeah, that's it. Now, here's the thing though, Matt. When Braun Strowman stand next to Kane, now Kane being a man that we have seen live is a hench motherfucker. He's big, right? The cameras don't do him justice. He is a big guy, right? He's very fucking tall and stocky. He's not a guy you want to get on the wrong side of. But when Strowman dwarfs him, Jesus Christ, that is something.
Yeah, you're just like, shit, he is big.
Yeah, it's...
Like, we always thought he was big because we've seen him like square off with like other bigger guys, but it's like, shit.
Yeah, that is... That's something special right there. That really is. No wonder this guy got fucking booted up to the main roster that quickly. Jeez. He passed the Kane test. If you're taller than Kane and stronger than him, then you can get onto the main roster. That's the way it works. If only Finn Balor had grown, an extra.
If only Finn Balor was 2 foot taller.
Yeah, about that. Yeah. The numbers eventually overcome Kane, and the Wyatt carry him out in the same manner as Taken themselves, and backstage they're shown dragging him on the ground into the haze while singing
the whole world song.
This is far more, Matt, what the Wyatt family should be doing than what they had been doing. For the first 6 months of them being on the main roster, they were doing more of this stuff, and it kind of got over how creepy they were and all this sort of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And then they got lost, right? They got lost, after the Cena stuff, everything seemed to go wrong for them, right? Now it's like, okay, now this is more the Wyatt family that I kind of loved at the very beginning, so sure, go for it. And I'm sure they are building up the Survivor Series match. You're going to have Taker, Kane, and maybe if the Wyatt family will target a few other people and they'll group up together. and then we got ourselves a Survivor Series match. That's certainly how I'm seeing it shaping up. So, and it should be a good match, by the way. I'm not. You may think, oh, well, you don't sound that excited. Well, I am. And that should be quite fun. So, but come on, you got guys of that size. You're looking at already. You got Wyatt, Rowan, Harper, Strowman, The Undertaker, and Kane already involved in this thing. Man, it's gonna be like a fucking war. It's gonna be like a behemoth war. It's gonna be awesome. So they should just have they should then attack like the Big Show and someone else that's big, and then have like the other person at the end, just like one of the small, like Kalisto, just randomly put in there, you know. So he's just like standing there as the one.
Right, just person. For scale.
Just for scale, that's it.
Just to make them look bigger.
And have Kalisto win the whole damn thing. Oh yes, oh yes. Big E versus Dolph Ziggler, the Ziggler man himself. Tyler Breeze makes his Raw debut this week. When I say debut, he doesn't wrestle. He enters his VIP ring seat area alongside Summer Rae. I mean, I'm happy for Breeze. Obviously, he's made his debut. That's awesome. And he's waited so long in how many years he's been in developmental or something? It's like 4.
3 or 4,
like a long time. But I hope he would got a moment almost like Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens had got with their big shock moment, right? When Sami Zayn came out, they had Bret Hart announce him as the challenger against John Cena. You know, that was an awesome moment for him. With Tyler Breeze, it's more like, oh, he's just there.
That's it. Especially when Kevin Owens answered, Owens didn't have the same sort of thing when he just came out for the at that open challenge match. But the pop was massive.
Yeah, everyone was. I mean, that was.
I don't understand why Breeze didn't get a similar reaction.
Yeah, that's part of the problem with debuting him on SmackDown as well, right? Is that they just felt like, oh well, he's already been on SmackDown. There's no reason to have him have a big moment. It still would have been cool. No one really gives a fuck what happens on SmackDown, right? You know. Yeah. But this was his Raw. This was his first appearance on Raw. Was just him coming up with Summer Rae sitting around and taking selfies. I would have planned something a little bit more special for the guy. I'm still happy for him, but there could have been a big memory for him there. But still,
I'm just happy because we're gonna get some Ziggler Breeze matches.
Yeah, that should be fun.
I'm hoping for some good things. Hopefully, they give them more time than a 5-minute match.
Yeah. That's our hope, right? It could easily end up like that, though, right? You know, it's not out of the realm of possibility that they just use. It's just a Ziggler rivalry, and they kind of go along those lines. But
that's it. But if they were to go, we're not really sure if Breeze is actually getting over or not, and so if all of a sudden they just give him 15 minutes. He'll get over.
Yeah, he'll do. His in-ring work is just as good as anyone else. You know, he's. I mean, come on, we've seen what he can do in NXT. He's fine there. So, I expect he's going to be wrapping things up on NXT and obviously going to the roster full time. But I hope there's big plans for him because he deserves it. He's a good character. He's a good in-ring worker. He deserves some care, right? So, this match though, I thought the Big E Ziggler match was highly competitive. I thought it showed some good chemistry.
I thought it was a good match.
Yeah. I thought that. I mean, Big E was Ziggler's heater for a while, so obviously they, spent some time together, But there was good moments in this match. I thought either man was going to get the win, and I honestly thought that Big E was going to get the win with Breeze maybe screwing out Ziggler at the end of this match, but nothing like that.
That was it, exactly. I was expecting a screw out.
No, nothing like that happened of the sort. Literally, that's all that Breeze did. He just went to his own little area, had his selfies, and that was it.
Ate grapes and had a drink.
Yeah.
And that was that. Match was over.
Yeah. Ziggler gets the win with the zigzag, but as I said, for a lot of the match, you thought he could go either way. It was good stuff. These guys made a very good account of themselves. Big E.
To be fair, that's pretty much just like Ziggler matches.
Yeah, but I mean, Big E, it just showed he can go, right? We all know that. Yeah. We all know that he's a lot better than what he gets shown to be sometimes, but it just reminded everyone that Big E is a decent singles competitor in his own ilk.
Yeah.
So yeah, good stuff there from them. Ziggler then moves on to the main event. Ambrose is backstage with Reigns. Dean reminds him that Reigns was close to winning the title on multiple occasions, but it's in the past. It's only in the past. It's time to forget it. Oh, the only thing I could think of was that monkey from The Lion King. Yeah. I expect him to slap
Rafiki.
Reigns behind the back of the head. It's in the past. Doesn't matter anymore. Rafiki, that's the one. Yeah, Rafiki. And then Ambrose tells him to go take the opportunity and grasp the circle of life. The squared circle of life.
And it moved us all.
Yeah.
So it began.
Yeah, that's it. Hakuna Matata. You know, what a wonderful phrase. Hakuna Matata.
Ain't no passing craze.
Yeah, there you go. It works on so many levels, right? Yeah, sure.
That's it.
I don't know where we're going, but sure. Titus O'Neil is in the ring. He's doing the Susan G. Komen segment. I'll tell you what.
Quick before October's over.
Yeah, right. But I tell you what, though, I will say, though, is that you know that they had Cena and Reigns out there last time doing that. Titus has been very open about his own history and his own losses with cancer, you know, most specifically with breast cancer, right? And the losses that he's taken with that as well. So when he's coming out and he's talking about things, it seems so much more... I don't want to say it was bad that Cena and Reigns did what they... You know, they were chosen to say what they said. It's certainly not bad, but when you've got someone like Titus O'Neil doing it, it's like... It's a lot more... I don't want to say genuine... What's the word that I'm looking for?
Genuine.
Yeah.
I know you're not after that word, but that's the word.
Yeah, right. I'm not being disrespectful, but Titus has been very open about his history, right? And
that was kind of like with when Layla was still around.
Yeah, she was doing stuff like that as well, wasn't she? Yeah.
Because that was the whole reason of the infinity symbol on her gear.
Yeah, it was something that she felt very strongly about, and she probably still doing stuff for it now, even though she's not with the company anymore, right? So it makes you wonder why they haven't sent Titus to go do more of these things, because he's obviously well-dressed, well-spoken guy, and he feels very strongly about the cause. So fair play. He gets the women in the ring to do the millions of dollars dance, and they do so.
And so does Triple H.
You know. He's got a history of dancing whenever he likes to, so there is that. So obviously the Susan G. Komen stuff ends as of this week, so no more of that going forward. And all the stuff we said about Susan G. Komen before, just remember what we said in regards to that. Just whatever charity you feel like you're going to support. Of course, go support a charity, but do your research and get acquainted with a charity that you know definitely you put money towards, it goes where you want it to go. So that's what we said before. Miz is backstage. He is still playing WWE 2K16. That means he's been playing it for the better part of 3 hours. Not only that, he's been standing all that time as well. Jeez. Must be a good game, Matt. You still going to buy it? You going to buy it?
No.
No, you're not going to. Okay. Then Austin himself shows up. The Miz marks out for him and then tells us when the game comes out. And then Austin then breaks his record for the quickest appearance on Raw at about 10 seconds. I think he's going to find that quite hard to beat. 10 seconds.
Well, that's it. He said a line, which suddenly everyone's just like, oh, it's just off of the game. But wait. Hey, everyone pop. Pop so loud and for so long that we don't even hear what was said next.
Yeah, that's it. Like I couldn't hear what Austin actually said. So...
And then Miz started quoting Austin catchphrases, and then that was that.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah. So I think Austin's going to try and beat his quickest appearance record, but like I said, at about 10 seconds, that's going to take some doing. It really will do so.
I'm sure he can do it.
I'm sure he can do it. Well, come on, Austin. Come on, we're pulling for you, man. You can do it. Fatal 4-Way main event. Rollins is at ringside. He's on commentary viewing, who of course he's going to become his new number one contender, who he says the person that have the right, have the privilege of losing to Seth Rollins, being his next beaten challenger. This match isn't one we see often on Raw. It has meaning, a reward, and consequences for each of the competitors' actions. The wrestling was fast-paced. It was good. And this is what happens, guys, when you remember what number one contendership matches are. I've said we need them back. You know, even for the IC titles, we should be having them.
I mean, the one thing I really liked was we even went back to old psychology of heels helping heels sort of thing.
Yeah, right. You know, there was a lot of cool things I liked about this match. And just the fact it was a fatal 4-way match. We just don't get many of them on Raw in general, right? So,
I think it's because they're so difficult.
Yeah, you put someone that doesn't know, you put someone green in that match type that don't know what they're doing. But come on, you've got You got Reigns.
Oh yeah, to be fair, you've got people who can handle the situation.
Yeah, you got Del Rio, Owens, so you're fine, and Ziggler, of course. So yeah, I thought this was a really cool main event, a really cool 15 minutes of action to end the show, which does mean something. The match actually meant something very important.
The thing is, there was actually points. I was like, yeah, okay, fair enough. I may have watched it after, a few days later, so I knew the result. But even then, I was like, even knowing the result, I was still a bit. He could actually win this.
Yeah.
And sort of I know the result, but I'm still just sort of really bought into the fact it's that could have been a finish.
There was a lot of really cool close calls in this match. Yeah. It was tell you what, it was built up quite well. I did like this match quite a lot. Now at the end of the match, it's only Owens and Reigns that are kind of left. Reigns counters the pop-up powerbomb into a Superman punch, which was quite awesome, and then spears Owens to make himself the #1 contender for the World Championship. Reigns has a look of a man Rollins has the look of a man who realizes that his title reign is about to come to an end.
That's it.
After the match, Reigns stares off with Rollins, pats his title, then turns his back on the champion. The fans chanting for Roman Reigns. So there you are. Probably one of the better 2 nights probably the best 2 nights in Reigns' career to date. I mean, you might say WrestleMania was.
Especially considering you had the commentary team. We mentioned this with Solo Monsters. The commentary team can sort of sell quite a lot, and they were all fair play to Reigns, considering what he had been through the night previous, rather than slander.
Yeah, I think to be honest, with the ones that they're told to build up, they're normally. Okay, of course, Cena, they blow his horn and it gets obnoxious.
Yeah.
I'm sure we get to a point with that with Reigns as well. It's just the nature of what they're like. But, yeah, I tell you what, like I said before, I think Reigns, he deserves his time. I really do. And, I've got no problem with him. I do think he will win this championship in this match. So, there is that. So, all in all, Matt, I thought this was a good Raw. I actually really liked it. I thought there was some great wrestling, some good matches on this show. And there's a lot of matches. I mean, you had very least 5 matches here. You had the 4 build-up matches to the last match and the main event. They all had a good reason to them. #1 contendership matches. That's what it was all about, right? It gave the show a spine, something that you could look forward to over the progression of the show. I think that they should be doing these #1 contendership matches every single time that you have an opponent. I honestly do. What was it?
I think it's safe, yeah.
We had 4 contenders for the world title that were just contenders for the fact that they asked basically, I want a title shot. They didn't wrestle any matches to get it. We need to go back to #1 contendership matches because it means the matches mean something, They're worth investing yourself into. So, and in that sense, it gave the show a little bit of staying power. Because you knew what was coming up towards the end of the show. You're going to find out who the #1 contender is and who else is going to be in that match. It gave it some meaning,
reason
some direction.
To stick around, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can completely agree with everything like that, but I still think some of the match, I think it couldn't help itself, and some of the matches were really disappointing.
Yes, but I mean, I would happily watch this Raw over any of the ones we've got over the last couple of months. I honestly thought this one had some direction to it, which is. Sometimes Raw looks like it's going a little bit aimless and it's just throwing matches out there for the sake of having matches. We got some direction here. We got some meaning to these matches. I'll take that every single week. And obviously, it's one of the shows that showed us they're going to try again. They're going to try and make Reigns a big star, and I think it's time. I think more fans now are much more receptive and open to Reigns being that guy.
I think him getting beaten up. Not beaten up. The match that he had at Hell in a Cell was a big help of that.
Yeah, I do.
Just listening to talks of old ECW days when you got Tommy Dreamer. Tommy Dreamer was ECW. There's no 2 ways about it.
He was missed at ECW, wasn't he? Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But you got to think at one point, when he first turned up, everyone was like, no.
Yeah, they were saying he looked too ordinary and stuff like
that.
Yeah,
no, he was the pretty boy and all things like that.
Yeah.
What did they do? He's going to take 10 lashes from Sandman.
Yeah. We're good. Oh, you don't think this guy has earned his stay?
Sir, may I have another? And everyone's just like, you dumb fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like a trial by fire, isn't it? And people, I do think that match may have convinced a few people that Reigns he's worthy of this. I think he's fine. Honestly, I don't have a problem with Reigns being put in. Some people might do, but come on. Ultimately, Cena's not going away for a while, right? And if they do eventually just get Reigns as their only star and just keep doing what they did with Cena and then they do with Reigns, then at that point can we get angry? We need to give this guy a shot first, you know? We need to give him a chance. So that's what I go with. So all in all, yeah, a Raw, I give this a thumbs up. I'd say go and watch it, honestly. Well worth catching, I think, this Raw. I think if you already know the ending, then obviously it's going to take some of the sheen off of it. And obviously for a 3-hour Raw, it's not going to be perfect, of course. But it had a bit of spine to it, this show. It was okay. So, is there anything else that you want to cover with this week's Raw before we wrap up episode 99?
I have nothing to add. No,
let's wrap it up. So, if you did enjoy this episode, guys, then of course you can subscribe to the channel. Looks like we're getting close, Matt, to actually hitting 500 by the end of this year, subscribers. That would be crazy. Our original goal was only 400. We smashed that into pieces. So that should be also big thanks to Solid Monster for giving us a lot of big traction onto the channel. That's basically where a lot of those came from, I imagine. If you want to ask us any questions, that will get answered on the episode 100 spectacular. Now is the time to leave them. If you want to leave us any questions that are a little bit close to home, you want to ask us anything that's non-wrestling related, feel free to do it. You know, we're going to be celebrating, and if there's anything that you wanted to know, ask us now about the way we make the show, anything like this. Go for it. Ask as many questions as you like. In fact, if we have the entire show next week just of fan feedback, you know, I'll be fine with that, right? You know, I don't.
So be it.
So be it. It'll be awesome. So ask as many questions as you like. Fill up that comment section. You can also tweet us with those questions. If you want to join the mafia, I guess, then you can tweet us at
Talk WrestlePod.
That is the one. And yeah, apart from that, also if you do want to send us any emails, if you want to send us any questions via email, if you don't want to leave them in the comment section, or you want to send us any audio messages, maybe to be played next week on the show, you can send them to Let's Talk Wrestling Podcast at gmail.com. Apart from that, I think we're all plugged out, are we not?
I think that's about it, yeah.
Yeah, next time we speak to you guys, it will be episode 100. Myself and Matt will be lightly inebriated. You know, throughout that time, I imagine. Intoxicated is the word.
Probably not intoxicated. We've got to still be professional.
We'll have a show at very least for you. That's what we do. But thank you guys. Before we do get to episode 100, obviously we're going to talk a lot about the podcast and everything when we get to that there. But thanks a lot for you guys that supported the show. We'll catch you all next week, and we hope that you'll celebrate with us. We hope that you grab a beer or something while you listen to the episode and just have fun. It's going to be a big celebration. That's all we can say. Episode 50 was a celebration. I don't even know what episode 100 is going to be like. It's going to be mental, so that's awesome. Alright guys, hope you have a great week. We'll catch you next time for the big episode 100.
That's it. We'll catch you soon.
Catch you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.